Hi everyone, it's Stephanie. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am working on the fabric snippet crumb quilt. I have the playlist in the description area below. I highly recommend this project. It's great. The other videos kind of explain going into what I'm doing, how I've created these snippets and the blocks and so forth. And this is the block. So what I'm doing is I'm making fabric, basically I'm making fabric snippet boards or master boards if you will, and then I'm cutting them into snippets and creating blocks with them, and I'm going to piece them together to create like a real scrappy quilt. The fabrics I'm using, a lot of it is upcycled fabrics, and from like thrift stores and from my stash, from clothes, you know, things like that. Scrap fat quarters that I've had over the years, or I've gotten collected. So this is a really fun project. I highly recommend it. You can make these as the blankets or the quilts, if you will, as big or as small as you want them. Any size works. I am 100% hand stitching this project. I am not using the sewing machine, so this is going to be quite a journey. It's funny, when I first got into this project, I thought, oh, I'm going to be done by July, and you know, everything will be great. That has not happened. I've been so busy, and but I think this is such a rewarding project to do, and it's something that you don't have to have done immediately, and it also teaches you to slow down, enjoy the process, and I think that's the fun part of it. And anyway, so what I'm doing is today I put a lot of my snippets into stacks, piles. And so this is ground, and I'm going to be adding more, and I've got more in here. And I've made more snippets, but I just need to, I thought, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and start making blocks. I think that would be the easiest way to go, and then just make more snippets if I need to. Because I felt like I made more snippets, and then I laid out everything, and I'm like, why does this still not look like it's enough? So I thought, you know, I'm going to change things up a bit and start on the blocks, and I think that's going to really help. So I have my ground. I've got a stack of grass, you know, the ground, and I've got like 3 stacks of the sky, well, the blue. And then there's a whole bunch in here that are mixed ground and like kind of like a garden-ishy theme type, you know, just like different patterns and so forth. So we're gonna just see how that goes. Okay, so what I'm doing to make the block, I think I'm gonna go with this size, and I know some of my snippets are long, so I'm probably going to just cut them. Now remember, if you want to use exact measurements, like snippets, I would do that. I'm not, but I like the real kind of scrappy like look, if you know what I mean. So my snippets don't tend to be completely squared if you know the measurements and everything. So that's just how I am. You know. So I think I'm going to go with, let's see, this length. Yeah, turn this around. No, I think it was actually this one. Okay. Well, most of my snippets are this measurement, but a lot are not. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to put it here about. It's going to be really neat when I piece these blocks together, because they're going to be so wonky and, you know, artsy. See how this is, you can tell that that's not complete. I can actually trim that back a little bit if I want to. So I think I'm going to do that just a little bit, just slightly. I tend to be this way. This is, you know, I'm not a, how should I say it? I'm not a traditionalist when it comes to quilting. I know how to make traditional quilts and everything, but this is like a artsy, yeah, okay, I think that's a little better. Let's see here. Maybe just trim it a little bit here. I'm not gonna do too much. See, I'm probably not gonna do that too much. Okay. This is like a great project when, let's just say you've got other projects, but you don't want to do something that's like, there we go. Okay, like you just kind of want to fiddle. Is that a good word for it? I'm using, I should not be using that. That's where my green is, but that's okay. Actually, where'd it go? Well, see it, that's okay. So what I could do is use my bowl here. This is where all the scraps of snippets are. There's tons, and I'm gonna be making lots of things with it. Some of it's starting to be a catch-all with other stuff too. I need to clean that up a bit. Okay. So I am just going, I hope you can see this okay. The sun is in the front of the house, and there's a maple tree right outside my window, so it's a pretty mature maple tree. It's old, and so it shades really, really well. Of course, we had a tree company come out and trim it, take some of the branches off away from the roof. Okay, so that's gonna work. That's good. So what I'm gonna do is just make sure I'm using the right one here. So that matches up pretty good. Yeah. Now this one, do I want to use this? I might use this in that would be kind of pretty, that order. Maybe this in the middle. Or what I could do is like that. But this is green. There's some green in here, so it's probably going to start, this one's going to connect. So I might do it, sew it in that order. Okay, I think that's a good idea. Let's try that. So what I'm doing, I'm kind of doing the opposite. The ditch, if you will, is actually on the inside. Show you. So the ditch here. And so what you could do, and I'm doing this on, that's going to be in the front. Something different, you know. Okay. So if you want, you can pin it. I'm not going to, really. Okay. So I'm just gonna take my needle. Doesn't have to be completely, I might trim some of that off when I get to that. So I am just using cotton crochet thread. Once the quilting is complete, I'm gonna go back with some like other thread too, and do some like stitching and things like that to stabilize this better. That's gonna be a fun project. So what I did, I start at the corner right here, and I'm just basically going to whip stitch this around. So I'm just gonna bring that, and I'm gonna try to bring it like a little, like close to the edge as possible. It's a little awkward at first, but once you get going, it goes rather fast. So, okay. Yeah, you don't want to stack the stitches, and you don't want, so just close. You don't want to create like a satin stitch, because it's not, then you're gonna have a hard time opening the block, if that makes sense. So I'm just a little closer, and they don't have to be perfectly even. I mean, that's just up to you, what you prefer. You know, this is just a project to just experiment with. So I don't know if you can see this. I'm using this color. I've got some other shades of this brown that I might use for the ground. Like a darker or a lighter. Actually, I think that, yeah, I do have a lighter one. And you want to use a really sharp needle for this. I'm not sure what size this is, y'all. But, I mean, it's small, but the eye is good. I was able to get this through, this thread through. So I'm just going to keep, and I need to make sure the other side too. I don't know if you could see that. I kind of got a little too close to that edge there. You know, it's interesting. I've sewn so much over the years that my fingers are like calloused. So when I accidentally poke my finger or something with the needle, it doesn't, it's weird. It's like, it doesn't hurt as bad. Okay, I'm probably going to go back and reinforce that a little bit. Okay. I hope you can see this. I hope I'm not getting away from the camera here. Filming with my, I need to move. Filming with my phone. Yeah, I cut this, I created a little applique right here. It was a flower from a blouse I used to add that. Get this. I am thinking about, you know, I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm not making any decisions. But it would be maybe if I can find some right pieces to use as patterns and stuff to use as applique on this and go back and sew them in, that would be really pretty. Okay, that's starting to bother me a little bit. It's getting in my way. Just gonna trim that. Okay. And there we go. I use mostly denim for my base. I love denim, always have. I wear it all the time, even when I was a teenager. My go-to outfit was a black shirt and denim, or plaid. This is going to be pretty, y'all. Now I'm going really slow here. I don't want this video to take too long. So, but I'm just showing you how I'm piecing these blocks together. It's basically the same way I made my snippet block box. Do you have videos on that? And I'll show it to you in a minute. If you're new to my channel, many of you have probably have already seen it, but so, ooh, that one was a little tough to get the needle through there. So I'm just whipping it, and you can to help control the thread a little bit to go faster, you can just put your thread like that. That helps too. Oh, there's another piece that's sticking out. I try to just keep it, sew it down there. I wondered though how long this project is going to take. I don't know. Can't wait to see how this opens. I want to at least try to get this one sewn. And then I'll just kind of show you. I'm going to be doing the same thing when I add this third block, or the third snippet. And then, so I just, you know, basically I just want these videos are to, you know, get the process down. Yeah. I mean, you can do so many things. You can make a box. I mean, yeah, I made a box with this. What else? And there's other things you can do. If you wanted to make like a stitch book cover, you can possibly make, like, yeah, you can make smaller blocks and then sew them together to make a cover, or it depends on how big you want your stitch book. That actually would be an excellent idea. I need to write that down for a future project. Okay, so when you get to the end, see, was I paying attention? It's a little, okay, let's open it. When you get to the end here, I might have stitched this a little too tight. I don't know, probably. So I can just kind of, let me show you. I might just take it and just kind of, there we go. No, it's not bad. It's not too bad. Yeah, I might have, it was a little tight. So what I do is, okay, so I'm on the outside. I'm going to go bring my needle back through in the ditch, and then I'm just going to kind of go in the ditch and bring my needle through those threads, those stitches. Yeah, I might have, yeah, don't, try not to, I mean, you want to make your stitches firm, but don't make them too tight, because you don't want your, it's gonna, put this here for a second, it's gonna, see how it's buckling a little bit. Sometimes that happens, but once I get this one on, I think it'll be okay. And I can iron it too, that will flatten it out. And if it's still bothering you, it's just like, okay, it won't like right itself, you can just cut the stitches out and start over. You know, it's just kind of learning as you go kind of thing. Oh, that's so pretty though. That's a pretty, yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna go with it. Let's do the other side. See? Okay. So I'm basically exactly what I did here. I'm going to do the same thing with this. So I'm going to put this, line up the snippet. You want the pattern on the outside. The denim is the bottom. Okay. And I just will take my needle and start on the inside and just whip it. Now this one I'm not going to make the stitches as tight. And I think ironing will help this. So I did not mean to do that. So, and then once you're done with that, like I did here, you just kind of bring it out and you've got a block. I'm gonna try to get, before the next video, I'll try to get a few done to show you how it goes. And then I could also like do one that's two and then sew a third one, but it's really basically the exact same method. And look at all the colors. I mean, that's gonna be beautiful. That is beautiful. I've got some green in there peeking through. So I don't know. This is probably, oh, I think it'll be okay. Because once I stitch all these blocks together, everything's gonna work out. Kind of get an idea. So what I'm gonna do is, when I stitch the blocks together, I'm gonna use the same method. The patterns are on the outside. Let's just pretend there's a snippet there. Okay. And I'm going to sew and do the whip stitch all the way through. And then you just open it, and then you'll be able to start your row of blocks. It's really simple. It's really easy. This is like a totally beginner-friendly project. So, okay, well, I hope you follow along with this project and definitely check out that playlist. Oh, let me show you real quick if you're new to my channel. So I make, you can make a snippet block box. And this one's gorgeous. This one turned out really well, and it's holding up so well. I love it. I put my yarn in here. I've got my lavender in there. Yeah. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at all the stitches. And that's a lot of slow stitching that I did. It was so relaxing. I enjoyed it. It's a great project. And on the inside is the denim. So we may have to do a stitch book, a snippet block stitch book cover. That would actually be really fun. But meanwhile, I'm just going to work on this project. So, okay. Well, I hope you liked this video and got some ideas. I hope you liked this video. And definitely share this project with your friends, your sewing friends, if someone's looking for a new, kind of unique, something different blanket making project. This is absolutely perfect. When all the blocks are together, I am going to be binding the quilt. I haven't chosen what I'm going to do yet. Like, I might use denim, I don't know. So binding is, once all the blocks are sewn together, I'm going to be binding the sides and perhaps maybe in the middle. I'm not sure about that yet, but I'll definitely will be adding binding on the sides. On the outer sides of the blanket, that is. Okay, well, my best to you and yours, and I hope y'all have a great day and a great weekend.